Hello everyone, VanguardOfValor here, and welcome back to Duskers. So, we've just barely survived some nasty things happening to us last time we were here. We've acquired a brand new ship recently as well, which is helping us out, but it's about time we did a little bit of maintenance to our affairs here, because things aren't going quite so well for us so far. We're having a bit of trouble. Let's hop into our ship configuration. We need to equip a new transporter, since we've got 5 of them, and our last one broke. We can't actually equip multiples of the same upgrade here, so all of these extra transporters don't immediately help us. In addition to that, we want to go to our drone configuration, because as it stands right now, we have got ourselves a bit of a nasty pickle here. I think what we're going to do is unequip this motion sensor, and we'll steal the motion sensor off Thor to put it back on Odin, so we can actually use it, because that one is fresh and has all the uses we could possibly want. That'll be nice. Now, there's a couple other things here. We may want to start getting rid of our low health drones. Hel here is a wonderful little drone, but she has 40 health less than Mimir, which is an additional 50% of her health, which is really bad. Same with Loki. These two are both in terrible shape with regards to our higher health drones. And if we get rid of some of these low health drones, then we'll be able to potentially pick up new drones on missions and then scrap them again for more resources. So while it may be a little bit sad to say goodbye to our drones, I think we are going to say goodbye to Hel, and we'll try and bring Loki in for now. We'll see if we can get somebody new, or we can get rid of Loki for now, either way, but I kind of want to keep Loki as long as we can. We may rename some of our new drones to replace our lost ones, but we will see. Either way, it doesn't make sense to keep these 80 health drones when we have 110s and 120s that we're not using. So we're going to try and bring Mimir into the operational situation here and replace out Hel. So let's head over to the modifications menu. There's Hel right there. Unfortunately, Hel, you are being converted into scrap. It has been good working with you. Goodbye. And we're also going to repair a Mimir. Of course, max health doesn't matter so much when we're not using it, but if we are planning on moving forwards with our strongest possible drones, we want to be using the ones that have the most health. So, kind of makes sense. So, we're going to heal up Mimir a little bit. I'm going to bring Mimir into the battle. So, let's execute this action. We only gain 5 scrap out of it, and unfortunately we lose Hel. But now we have an extra drone slot, so we can potentially pick up more drones as we go. There we go. And we have the ability to hopefully get a little bit more done. We have a high failure chance tow, we have a lower failure chance tow, but both of these are pretty high failure chance in general. We don't necessarily need one because Balder has a nice fresh tow mod though, so what we're going to grab instead is a gather for you, and I will take an emergency tow just in case things start to go horribly wrong. There we go. And you know what? We might even take one more item here. I might take a lure, but I think for now we'll hold off on that. I'm tempted to try out some of these modules we've never used, which is why I have a stun on Balder. But I think actually rather than the stun, we'll take the lure this time and see how that works for us. Because we've never really used this. Now I have Odin, Thor, Mimir, and Balder here. This should be a wonderful little adventure. We're running out of explosive weapons. We could try and repair these, but again, they're all damaged, so I'm not entirely sure if I want to spend the resources to repair them right now when we have a fair stockpile of resources, but we're trying to find a store so we can get some nice things. Anyway, that's a little bit of maintenance out of the way. We're going to hop into this this ship here, I think, this private type A. It is filled with 2 infestation types. It's a bit volatile, but hopefully it won't try to destroy us utterly. So let's travel over to here. There we go. We have only 2 propulsion fuel left, which is not a lot. It is enough to get us to this Whirlpool research outpost, which might be worth going to. If we can get there, we're also close to these ones as well. Or we can go down here to the bottom corner and see a Tech Type A. A Tech A might have good stuff for our drones, but I have a feeling a research might also have interesting modifications for us if we can get lucky and actually acquire them. Anyway, we're going to drop into the Corsica here. Let's board it and see if we can't survive this. I have not played in a little while, so I may be a little bit rusty, but let's see how it goes. So this is a volatile, medium hull integrity, private type A. Well, let's get down there and see how she goes. Unknown derelict. All the records are corrupted. It was apparently a military patrol with government employees. Well, let's begin. Let's hop in here and see what Odin sees. Okay, Thor's powering our first generator. I'm going to move you over so you're not in the way. We have another room here. D20 is open with a little bit of resources and not much else. This room is pretty interesting, though. Nice and long. Potential for some more... Ooh, hey, and immediately we found a working drone. That's really interesting. Okay, let's see what they have. They have a stealth system. Okay, that could be pretty cool. That's a nice immediate find. Alright, so what we're going to do then is we are going to set up a couple things here. First we gather here. Second we motion here. Alright, we have a bunch of safe rooms, which is great. We are going to take navigate Balder to R5. Then we want to say tow Balder. Then we want to say navigate Balder to R1 and tow Balder again. We have to be specific who we're saying about here because we have two people with a tow module. This should work, but there's no 100% guarantees, so I guess we'll find out. So we know this room is safe over here, or at least it seems to be safe according to our motion sensor data. Let's just make sure that Balder does actually pick up the drone. Yes, he does. Good. Okay, so we're going to investigate into D7. Hopefully there are no immobile enemies in here that are lying to us about their safety of their rooms. There's a console. If only we had the interface module, we'd be able to do something with that. But since we don't, we really can't. Let's investigate D5 then. Since this also appears to be a safe area. Not a lot in here, sadly. There is a little bit of resources. We'll grab those while we're here. But there's not much else here. We do have the full layout of the ship, which is nice, but everything is already powered, so our remote power is going to be super useful here. Alright, we're going to investigate a little bit. We're going to open up D18 so that we can get Mimir out, and then we're going to do a little bit of investigating in this area. So, first of all, close D18, close D5, open D4. This should allow us to check if there's anything hostile in there, which there is. Okay, close D4. So there's no airlocks in this area, which makes it a little bit hard for us to safely clear these rooms. But at least we know there's something in there now. Can I get it into R7 instead? If we can clear the enemy out of there, we can check to see if there's anything in R11, and we don't ever have to go back into those rooms, really, so it should be safe to ignore them in the future, as long as they don't start bashing doors down. So we open D4 and D12, and we'll see if anything hostile heads in through there. We don't really have any weapons right now, so it may be a little bit tricky for us to manipulate all these things as easily as otherwise, but we will see. We will see. We're not seeing anything happening. There's a new transporter signal in room 5, which is good. What we're going to do, actually, here is we're going to generator to turn off our power so far. We're going to send Thor back into the ship, just in case we need to move and airlock some things here, because what we can do is we can close A1, we can remote power R2, and that'll power the whole ship without us having to use a drone for that. So then we can say dock A2, and as long as we don't open the door, we can then use this area in A1 to detonate, or to evacuate this guy through the airlock. So that would probably work pretty well. Except that we'll destroy the generator. That's not good. We actually can't do that because that's the room the generator's in. But I can use that as another room to get rid of people. On the plus side, it doesn't seem like there's anything in R8, R11. So we're going to check that quickly with Mimir. If there is something in here, it's bad luck. But we're going to take a look and see. Nothing has moved in here for a long time. Okay, so this is safe. So, we don't know much about this part of the ship, unfortunately. What we will do is we will close... Actually, we'll open... Okay, there's another way we can still do this. It's slow, but it's not awful. We'll run Mimir back into this side. Close D8. If we open D14, eventually anything that's hostile in there will make its way up to R9. We'll be able to make do without having to waste too many more motion sensors. On the downside, though... we have a long potential wait here, because room 8 is humongous, And they have to make their way through 11, 12 before they can get to 9. So this may not be the most strategic path, but on the plus side, it has a good chance of actually not dooming us to anything nasty here. The only problem is it takes a long time. Alright, hand it over to Odin here. Without moving, we're going to drop a scan. There we go. Head over to Mimir. That'll get us a little bit of extra scrap, so we'll say gather all while we wait to see if anything horrible happens in the room above us. I should probably be checking these other rooms for scans as well, because if we can get more scan data, we can get more free things, but I'm trying to get a little bit more information before we go in those rooms again. I have a feeling at this point that we're not going to worry too much about it, though. It looks like there's nothing in there, because we would have hopefully seen something by now. Alright, we're going to take Odin. We're going to take some risks here, folks. Take some risks. Do a scan, there's nothing in that room, that's to be expected. The scan generally doesn't show a whole lot of things, but it's worth checking sometimes. Unfortunately, losing the teleporter signal in room R5 means that if everything goes wrong here, we no longer have a nice safety net. But we will open D18 up and send Odin in there to scan. Nothing. Alright. Close D18 up. R6 now has a teleporter. Okay. Open up D4. Is there horrible things in here? Nope. Scan again, and there's nothing. Close D4 behind us. Open up D12. Not going to scan in here. We are going to take a look in the next room and scan it. Alright, so we're going to do a quick check here with Odin to see if we die a horrible death in this room. Hopefully we do not. No, it seems safe enough. Nothing exciting in here either, but it does seem safe. Okay, that's good. This gives us a new area from which we can do our motion testing. Results inconclusive on literally every room. Wow. That's not helpful, game. Alright, Mimir, you're gonna come on in here. Inconclusive results on literally every room. That is a problem. Now we have no way to test, really, where anything is. We're pretty sure there's one new type of infestation that we haven't covered yet, so it's got to be around here somewhere. It's got to be in one of these rooms, but I don't know where it would be at this point. Let's close D14 and D12. Keep all the doors around us shut. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. We have a couple problems now. If we actually can't use motion sensor to detect anything at all, we are going to have a hard time doing this. What we may need to do is get Odin into the ship, head over to A2 and motion sensor there so we can check R13. Then if we can get a... But we won't be able to check it, though. It's connected to this room, and the motion sensors are already inconclusive, so we won't be able to get anything there if we try. And this is not a good situation. What we might do is we might drop a lure in an earlier room and see if we can't force enemies to go over there. Because right now, this is not convenient. If we'll do one more try here, I don't think this is going to have any better results, though. It just deactivates them. Interesting. Yeah, no. Our motion sensors are active right now, but there's nothing conclusive happening. None of these rooms will give us results. Alright, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to rely on different tactics here. So, let us dock A1 again. Having being docked on A2 doesn't really help us at the moment anyway, because we can't leave through that room yet because we don't know if it's safe. What we can do, though, is force it to be safe by venting everything in the room, but then we potentially miss getting whatever is good in here. We want to bring our lure bot out, so Balder, you're going to open up A1 for me. And we're going to drop a lure in this room. We lost the transporter signal, that's fine. So we drop the lure in here. I don't know if this is even going to do anything. I don't know if we can realistically check to see if it's working. But what we're going to do, we're going to try something pretty silly here. So we're going to go D15. It's going to be a little bit wasteful, but it may be the only way we can realistically get this to work. So we're going to check the motion sensor in here, which we can see. We know the enemy's in there. We're going to use this to move them back into R9. They should wander back through pretty quickly. Close door 5. Okay, open door 19. Odin, you're going to come in here and use another motion sensor. It's a little bit wasteful to have to do it this way. We knew he was in here, but there was no way for us to make sure that he wasn't going to be able to do anything to us, so we have to do it like this. Now we check another motion. We should get R2 checked. Good. That's what we wanted. What we're going to do now is close D15. We're going to... I may as well leave the ship there for now, but we may redock. This room is not going to be good for the long term, but it may help us at least trap one more enemy in this ship. We're going to open up a couple rooms. There we go, and see if we can't trap some things. That worked perfectly. So I assume it's going to eat the lure pretty fast. Yeah, it's attacking the lure as it is now, so that's not going to last super long. But we've got it trapped at the very least, so we can check at least one more room. We probably could have done this a little bit better if I hadn't, if I had let it last a little bit longer. Because right now the lure's still there. I could open more doors and see if they'll go attack the lure, but I'm already committed to checking this room. We found a fuel port. Oh, please have fuel in you. We need some. Nothing again. That's phenomenally bad. What is this? I forget what the examine command is. Info. Okay. It's a ship surveyor. Okay, well, we'll tow that. Unfortunately, the nice safe docking room is no longer nice and safe, so we're going to need to do some other things to get around it. Our lure has been devoured, so that's not going to work out too well either. I really don't want to have to use another motion scanner here, but the problem is we have no way to safely do this and keep power in the facility, because if we vent A1, then we destroy everything that's here. So in theory, what we do now, we've trapped him. Odin comes down this way. Since these are the only rooms we can motion sensor, we have to make use of them as best we can, and there's no efficient way to do it. So we're going to activate another motion here. I hate wasting all these things, but we go door 7 to move him out of that room now that the lure is gone, and then we can go in ourselves. It hurts doing it like this, though. It's not efficient. Alright, Odin, you're going to head over this way into this room and do a motion check down here to see if you can maybe see if this lower room is safe. It's a tiny room, so it's probably not going to be that beneficial to us anyway, and results are inconclusive anyway. This is not good. We're just going to have to probably take some risks here, and I do not like doing that. I do not like doing that at all. Alright, Mimir. Oh, we didn't move him far enough. Okay, Thor, you're going to move out of the way. I can barely see what I'm doing with you. I probably should have just used the navigate command there, but it worked in the end. There we go. We'll drop this inside. Mimir, welcome back. So here's the thing. We only want to risk one of our drones right now. And I would rather risk Odin than Mimir, because if he's destroyed, then we lose a whole lot more valuable of a drone in Mimir than we do with Odin. Odin's been with us the longest, but still, the potential for cataclysmic failure is still not what we want to be playing around with. So, if we open up D22, is there something horrible in here? No, it's a tiny room, we're safe. So we know there's two different types of enemies in here, and if both of them are now trapped in R7 and R9, then we're safe. And that's great. We have no way to know that, which is the not great thing. Now, D20, do you have a vent in you? No, you have a down teleporter signal. That's what that symbol means. I thought so. I didn't think that was what it looked like it was. So, we can check R6 if we want. There's a risk of nasty things being inside, but we can check it if we want. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to open D16 for a little bit, and then we're going to hope that whatever's inside moves into R8 if there's something inside, and then we can hopefully never have to worry about it again as we try to safely move through other rooms. There's no way for us to even know if there is something in this room, which is what makes it scary, but we also know that R6 has a teleporter in it, so in theory, if we die in here, we wait until R6 turns back on and we can get out safely. This is a really slow mission, because we have no way to check any of these things. I'm actually going to send Mimir back into the ship right now, because it doesn't make any sense to leave him in there where he could in theory get hit with random radiation or anything bad like that. Let's see, Odin, how lucky are you? No, not S10, D10. Room R5 has a teleporter signal. Odin, are you safe in here or are you dead? Oh, it's a dead-end room anyway. We can't get through the whole thing. Okay. Radiation is flooding room R10. Alright, well, we're running out of options then. We're just going to try and get out of here before anything else goes wrong. Now that radiation is flooding in, it's going to start flooding in quite quickly, and we could be in serious trouble. So we're just going to bail with what we've got. We didn't get any fuel. We got a little bit of scrap. We got a drone. It's good enough. It's not great, though, unfortunately. There's just nothing... No real huge redeeming features about this effort here. Kinda sucks. Alright. Or rather, exit, not end. At least we got a new ship upgrade that we can actually use, because Ship Surveyor is not one we had before. However, one of our toes is broken, and the other toe is now deteriorating. We did pick up a stealth upgrade, and we did get a Ship Surveyor, which is pretty cool. But, not everything is wonderful right now. So Ship Surveyor gives us their structural layout. Structural, that's always nice. So we'll know automatically now what the full room layout of the ship we come to is. So that should help us out a little bit. Then we check out our drones. This toe is completely broken, so we'll remove that. We have a working toe there. We're going to bring a backup toe on Mimir. Emergency towing. We do have a stealth, though. So what we're going to do is, Baldur, if you're going to be our other main examining drone, we're going to... Oh, Ron has 70 health? That's awful. We're definitely going to be scrapping Ron immediately. No worries about renaming them. They're just going to get destroyed because I don't think that's worth it. But at least it's resources, and we did get the stealth module off them. So that'll help. Unfortunately, now we run the risk of having both of our working toes breaking at the same time, which would really suck, but we can always make a new one at the end of the mission if we have to, and they won't break until the mission ends anyway. As it stands, I think we're pretty safe here. We don't need to have 3 bots with Gather, though, I don't think. I don't know. Right now, Baldur is pretty useful there with the stealth gather and tow. Mimir, this gives us a way now to actually check rooms, even if we can't scan them. So this means that we have an actual potential for cool things to happen here. And I believe stealth recharges after you use it. So that could be really useful, but we have a limited number of other modules. We could try to put a stun in on Baldur, so he sneaks into a room, stuns things, and runs out, but I don't know if the stun will stun him too, because it'll go off when he's in the room if he goes into a room with stealth to drop something in there. I also don't know if you can even do things like that and stay invisible. I know that if you bump enemies, they'll see you. But it's a questionable decision. I think we're going to come over here to this Whirlpool Research Outpost for our next jump, but before we do that, we're going to take a quick look at the help menu just to see exactly what we know about the stealth upgrade. There it is. Okay. Prevents threats from detecting the drone. While active, the drone can move. Activating upgrades may deactivate the stealth field. Activating the stealth field may deactivate other upgrades. And taking damage may deactivate the stealth field. Okay. So we can't use things. Reliably, at least, and stay invisible. And if we get injured in any way, then we potentially deactivate stealth as well. So it's not completely reliable, but it should help us out a little bit. Let's take a look at what we can do to modify that upgrade. We haven't really done any powering up of our drones or anything yet, but let's take a look and see what stealth does if we try to upgrade it. Lasts shorter, but recharges very quickly. Okay. So that's an upgrade we can use. So we know it recharges. It just recharges slowly. Interesting. We have a lot of damaged modules I'd love to get rid of. Especially these, like, 7 transporter modules. But for now, that's not an option to us. Alright, well, you know what? This hasn't been the most eventful episode because we've only done one ship, but we've gotten a couple interesting things on under our belt here. We're frantically trying to find more fuel, and hopefully we can get some here, otherwise this is just going to game over us. But for now, this is it. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. This has been Vanguard of Valor, struggling here in Duskers. If you enjoyed the episode, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Thank you again very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.